Hello, welcome back to Cracking the Cryptic, and I am having a look at a puzzle called 3 is a Magic Number by KWOG. Now, 3 is a Magic Number is one of the songs featuring 3 that was not mentioned in a puzzle Simon did a few days ago, which did mention a number of songs featuring 3 and was most amusing, including I can 3 clearly now the fog has gone. Anyway, goodness knows, I've done a puzzle which had special rules for 3 not long ago. Was it Danny Dracogal had a rule about 3s, which is quite similar to the rule in this puzzle, but that didn't have fog, I don't think. Anyway, this one came in from Colombia, the country, as opposed to Columbia, the state capital of South Carolina. This is from KWOG in Colombia. I don't know whether to pronounce it Colombia or Columbia. In that Shakira song, it's Colombia, so that's probably what it actually is. Anyway, I don't know that we've done a puzzle from Colombia before, but this one is. And I will go through the rules in a moment. As you can see, it is entirely covered in fog. Entirely. We're going to have to find our way through the fog. And I do love a fog of war puzzle. That is why we have a fog of war app. That is our latest app, and very good it is too. We have 12 apps. The 12th is fog of war, and 60 Sudokus in it, I believe, which are just top quality. Do have a go at that if you can, and all of the apps are good. And of course there's merchandise, including the 2025 t-shirt, and it's not a t-shirt, it's a shirt, and the SVEN'S Sudoku Pad is linked under the video, along with the Patreon, where 1st of June, hooray, it's time for the new hunt, which is a yin-yang journey by Itrio, and there's a couple of non-Sudoku puzzles to start with, and then lots of other Sudokus. You can do them in any order you like, but there's a story attached. It's great fun. Do check it out if you're a Patreon with us. Become one if you're not. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done it already. I'd be really grateful if you did, and like the videos occasionally if you like them. But you can also play the video on the first link in the description field. I'm going to go through the rules now of 3 is a magic number. Normal Sudoku rules apply. We're going to have to somehow put 1 to 9 in every row, every column, and every 3 by 3 box. The grid's completely covered with a thick penetrating fog. Placing digits correctly will clear the fog and your anxiety. That's a promise, apparently. No guesswork is required. Box 3, that's this one, is a magic square. All the rows, columns, and diagonals within the box sum to the same total. That's the 3-cell diagonals. So that has the same total as that and that, for instance. A white dot separates 2 consecutive digits. A black dot separates 2 digits that have a 1 to 2 ratio, so one's double the other. Digits along an arrow sum to the total in the circle. And for the digit 3 alone, there is an anti-knight's move constraint and a negative constraint on Kropki dots. This means, and thank goodness it's explained, that a 3 cannot be within a knight's move of another 3, and a 3 cannot be next to a 2, 4, or a 6 without a Kropki dot chaperoning them. So, got my little Nighty McKnight face to remind me about that when I forget. But 3 can't. The only way 3 can be orthogonally adjacent to 2, 4, or 6 is with the relevant white or black dot. Okay, well, I mean, all of this is to be discovered under the fog. Let's get cracking, and we're going to start with the magic square, because there's nowhere else we can possibly start. Now, I'm going to prove to you why the middle digit is a 5, because that middle digit is part of how many different sums adding up to the number that must be consistent. Okay, first of all, what is the number that each row adds up to? Well, we know the secret of a Sudoku box that it always adds up to 45, because that's the sum of the digits 1 to 9, and they must all appear. If we divide into 3 for the rows, each row must add up to 15. And of course, every column adds up to 15 and every 3-cell diagonal. So there are 4 different ways that this central cell contributes to 15. And the only digit that has that can combine with every other digit to form 15 is 5. So 5 must go in the middle. And there we go, it clears some fog as expected. Now, the next thing to ask is where 1 or 9 go. 1 cannot be part of 3 different sums. It can only combine with 5 and 9 or 6 and 8 to make 15. So it cannot be in a corner where it would need to be part of 3 different sums. So 1 and 9 must be in one of these yellow cells next to the 5, therefore contributing to only 2 sums of 15. And furthermore, for every sum of 15 in this puzzle, it's either made up of 3 odd digits or 1 odd and 2 even. Now, once you've decided to put 1 and 9 either there or there, then 3 and 7, well, you've basically got to give up on trying to combine either of those with 3 and 7 in a threesome, or with putting 3 or 7 into places where they're not interacting in 3-digit odd sums. So if you put 1 and 9 there, it turns out 3 and 7 will have to be here. So these yellow cells are the 4 odd digits. Now, this one on a black dot cannot be 7 or 9 because they don't have a black dot counterpart in Sudoku. So that's 1 or 3. That must combine with a 7 or 9 over this side to make this sum add up to 15. Now, on a white dot from 7 or 9, we have 8 or 6. On a white dot from 1 or 3, we have 2 or 4. On the black dot from 1 or 3, we have 2 or 6. How are we going to get these disambiguated? Probably we're going to have to use the magic rules for 3 somehow. I haven't worked that one out yet. Is this a 3-7 pair? Ah, right, yes. No. I don't think this can be 1 or 3. Is that right? No, that isn't right. I was thinking that, well, this is strange. Okay, 3 needs to have a black dot if it's next to 6, a white dot if it's next to 2 or 4. And it can't be a knight's move away from another 3. I can't work out how these things are relevant to trying to figure out how this square works. Ah, look at that pair. They have to contribute to a 15 sum going down here, so that can never be 8. There we go. That took a while, didn't it? If that was 8, 8 plus 7 is already 15. Anything you add here will bust that. If that's 8 and that's 9, you're already completely bust. So that's 6 in the corner. Now this diagonal has to add to 15, so that's 4. This is now 3 on the white dot. We can add up the magic square and just fill in the numbers based on adding to 15 in every row, column and diagonal. And it looks like that. There we go. Now this is a 6 on the black dot. Now we have a black dot here. And we have one here. Maybe this one is even better. That sees 1, 6 and 8. The other 3 Sudoku digits that can go on a black dot are 2, 3 and 4. Never mind about the knight's move. This must be a 2-4 pair. And what does that do? That means these cells are selected from 1, 8 and 9. Because they see 6, 3, 5, 7 and 2, 4. It means 2 and 4 are out here in row 2 somewhere. Okay, let's have a look at this black dot, which doesn't have a 1 on. Could be a 3-6 pair, although now I am going to remember the knight's move. Right, there are cells in this box that can't be 3. There are lots of them. 3 can't be here because it would be next to 2 or 4 and there's no white dot. 3 can't be here because it would be next to 4 and there's no white dot. 3 can't even be here because there's a knight's move ban. So that must be where 3 goes. That's a step. Okay, now these 2 cells add up to 3. That's a 1-2 pair. We can't put 1 here, or that would be 2 on the black dot and that would be 2 on the arrow. So that must be a 2. And now this is a 1 and that's 4 on the arrow. We're going to have a 3 in the top row, but it mustn't be a knight's move away. So it's in one of those cells. And that's quite interesting. It's in one of those cells, and wherever it is, it mustn't touch 4 or 2. So if 3 is there, that's a 2-4 pair. If 3 is there, that's a 2-4 pair. And it looks to me as though this can never be 4. If this was 4, that would be 2, and one of them would be touching 3. So I think 4 has to be here. And then 2 and 3 are a little diagonal pair one way or the other up there. Now, I haven't looked at these black dots yet. This one sees 1, 2 and 4. So it is 3, 6 or 8. Right, it's not 3 or 6, because if it was, this digit would be 3 or 6, and that digit would be 3 or 6, and this would be a pair, and that would clash with the 3 we've got. So this must be an 8. And then that's a 4, and then this is 2 or 8. This pair sees 1, 2, 4, 8 in the box. That is a 3, 6 pair. I don't think I have any of the special rules to determine which is which, but I do have 5, 7 and 9 still to place in box 4. Still only 1 has been ruled out of that cell. Out of this cell, 2 and 4 have now been ruled out. So that's 3, 6 or 8. By the knight's move, good spot, it can't be 3. Thank you, Knighty McKnightface. So that is 6 or 8, connecting with a 3 or a 4 here. That 4 is looking up to the top of the grid. 8, 1, 6, we've got 3, 5, 7, 9 to place at the top. I don't know much about that. We've got more dots though. So this dot can't be a 3, 6 pair or they'd break that cell. They can't have a 4 in, so it's not 2, 4 or 4, 8. This must be a 1, 2 dot. And now that sees that cell and stops it being a 2. So we get a 2 there. That stops, oh, I was going to say it stops this being a 3. Oh! Right, my earlier logic was flawed because I didn't allow for white dots under the fog. My goodness, I'm so... No, where was it? It was when I put the 4 in row 2. I said that this couldn't be a 4 because that would be a 2 and one of them would have to touch the 3. Well, there's not a problem if there's a white dot. I'd forgot that that was allowed, so I messed up there. I apologize. Let's try and do this correctly. Yeah, I was okay in this box. I was conscious of the white dots having to appear when I was working out where 3 went. So I don't think I've messed anything else up, but let's look at this. This, again, can't be from 3 or 6. That must be 8. So this is 4, and that's 2 or 8. So that clears the same sort of fog. This is a 3, 6 pair. That must be right. These cells are from 5, 7, 9. Now, this pair can't be a 3, 6 pair or it breaks that cell. They can't have a 4 on. So they are 1, 2, and that can't be a 2. And this is a 2, and that's how we get to the right conclusion. And that is now a 4. Now with the white dot, that has to be 3 because it can't be 1. So that's 3 in the corner. That's 3 in the spotlight, being a magic number. And that gets a 6 and 3 down here. Now that 3 is not allowed to touch a 2 here, and there we could see under the fog there's no white dot. So we get 1 there, 2 there. That's a 1 in box 1. This arrow is probably interesting, but I'm just postponing thinking about it while I do some other thinking. That 4 sees the 2 and 4 at the top. Got 5, 7, 9 triple. It's 5, 7s and 9s that are often the hardest to disambiguate in a Kropki puzzle. Right, let's think about this then. We're adding 2 more cells at least, so it's not going to be a 5. What can these cells be? This one could be a 1, but this one has to be at least a 3. Now, could this go 3, 3, 1? And therefore keep this down to 7. I actually think it could. If this was a 9, okay, so let's consider the other possibilities next. I don't know, are there easier things we can do in the puzzle? I'm not sure what they are. There might be. 4, 3, 1, 2, 5, 7, 9, 6, 8. I don't know. No, okay, I'm going to keep thinking about this arrow. If that's a 9, we don't know that it's only a 3-cell arrow, but the only way it cannot be is if it goes 3, 3, 1, and then a 2 that would be either, well, that would actually have to be here in the fog. So the only way this is a 4-cell arrow, it goes 3, 3, 1, 2. The only way that's a 7 is if it goes 3, 3, 1. Now, if it's a 3-cell arrow adding up to 9, these 2 add up to 6. They can't both be 3s, neither can be a 4. They could be 3, 5, 1. And I think in all the possibilities we've listed, this is 3 or 5, and this is always 1. For all the 3 possibilities of this being a 3-cell arrow adding up to 7, 3, 3, 1, a 3-cell arrow adding up to 9, 3, 5, 1, or a 4-cell arrow adding up to 9, 3, 3, 1, and then a 2 to follow. So now we're going to find out whether it is a 3 or a 4-cell arrow. It's a 4-cell arrow, so that's a 2, and that's a 3. This is 8. This pair can't use 1, 2, or 8. That is a 3, 6 pair. In they go, because we had that 6 up there. This is now a 4 on the white dot. Legal because of the white dot. The other digits in the box are our favourite 5, 7, 9 trio. Now we've got to put a 3 in one of these cells, one of those 2 cells specifically. Oh, we couldn't put a 3 here because that digit can't be 2 or 4. So 3 is not there, it's here. Oh, also that would have been a knight's move away. I didn't spot that. So we're going to put 3 in one of these 2 cells. There was some other digit that was going to be in one of those. 4. That is a 3, 4 pair. 4, 4, and 4. Put 4 in one of those. 3, 3, and 3 do the same job for 3. Right, this digit is now either 6 or 8. 2 is unavailable. We're going to need another 3, not here in row 9, not here because of that, not here because of the knight's move. So we get another 3 in the corner. 3 is a magic number today. And I can 3 clearly now, most of the fog has gone. That gives me 4 here and 3 here. Now almost all of the fog has gone. We're down to 2 cells. I was about to say 3 and it's suddenly 2. These digits are 2, 4, 7, 8. This one is 7 or 8. And in this column, 2, 3, and 4 have gone. So 1 must be on that arrow, and it must be right there. This is therefore 6 or 7 to make that work, and we can see which. It's a 7. That's an 8. 1 cell of fog left. That's a 7 and clears the fog. 2 and 4 are there. This is a 6. This is a nice approachable puzzle. 5, 9 there. That's a 1. That's an 8. Just have to keep your mind on the rules a little bit as you go, as usual. Now that's 5 or 9 because it can't be 2. This is the only place for 2 in the row. This digit is even because it's adjoining an odd digit on a white dot. And 2, 4 and 6 are all seen, so that's an 8. And that's going to sort out lots of our numbers again. That has been a 9. I didn't write that in, but ever since it became a 4-cell arrow, that was obvious. This is where 4 goes in row 7. That is 5 or 9, and that is 8. We've still got some 5, 7, 9s to disambiguate. 6 in the central box is done, and 1 also. What are the other digits from? Our favourite 5, 7, 9 trio. This has to be a 9 in the column. And that's going to be helpful. That's going to sort out some of the 5, 7, 9 issues. In this column, 5, 7 and 9 all appear, and that must be 9. Yeah, that's going to be big news. So what was it that we needed here? An 8. Now, in this row, that is now a 5. This is a 7. And we can do all the 7s and 5s in columns 4, 5 and 6 accordingly. And now 5, 7, 9 are not such a big problem at all. They're basically all resolved, I think. A 7 there. This is a 6, 7 pair. 5 and 7 here have been done by Sudoku. 6 and 7 there. This is now a 5. The bottom set of digits here are 6, 9, 7. 5 and 9 at the top, and let's just get rid of the yellow before we finish off. That's a 9, and I think that is 3 as a magic number done. There we go. Not too difficult, quite good fun. There's some very interesting things. The magic square started us all off, and then actually, yes, that digit took me a while to see how to do that. And I wasn't careful enough originally about there having been a potential for a white dot in that position, but I think I proved that we did it logically in the end. Nice puzzle. Thank you, KWOG, and gracias, and we will see you again soon. Bye for now.